There's a quiet truth about life that most people never stop long enough to notice, and this is your life. And it's not about lacking beauty, excitement, or meaning in the way that you thought. It is actually the ability to experience your life to the fullest. So, because if you really pay attention, nothing about your external world has to drastically change for your internal world to feel completely different. The same room you woke up in today, the same routines you repeat, the same people you interact with, all of it can either feel dull and exhausting or strangely meaningful and even beautiful. And the deciding factor is not the situation itself, but the way you meet it. Some people spend years waiting for their life to start, believing that one day, when everything aligns perfectly, when they look better, earn more, move somewhere now, or fall into the right relationship, they will finally feel alive. But what they don't realize is that this mindset quietly trains them to disconnect from the life that they already have right now in the present moment. They become visitors in their own story, constantly looking ahead instead of actually living. So, romanticizing your life is not about pretending things are perfect. It's about reclaiming your role inside your own experience. It is about deciding your life is not something to escape from, something to step into more deeply with awareness, intention, and a sense of quiet power. The feeling of emptiness that people often describe does not come from having nothing. It comes from moving through everything without truly being present for it. When your days become automatic, when your actions are driven by habit rather than intention, life starts to blur into something that feels repetitive and emotionally flat. So you wake up and immediately reach to your phone, not because you consciously choose to, but because it became a reflex. It's your flex. You go through your routine without thinking it, speak without fully listening, eat without really tasting, and by the end of the day, you feel as though nothing meaningful happened, even if you were busy the entire time. So, this is the paradox. You can fill your life with activity and still feel so empty because meaning does not come from what you do, it comes from how you experience what you do. When you begin to understand this, something shifts. You realize that the problem is not your life itself, but your relationship with your life. And once you see that clearly, you also realize that this is something you have the power to change. So, romanticizing your life often misunderstood as something soft, aesthetic, or superficial, but people imagine like candles, music, perfectly cured routines, and while those things can be a part of it, they are not the foundation of it. So, as its core, romanticizing your life is an act of awareness. It is the deliberate choice to treat your experiences as if they matter, even when they seem very small or ordinary. It is about engaging with your own life in a way that feels intentional rather than accidental. So, when you drink a cup of coffee slowly instead of rushing through it, you are not just consuming something, you are creating your moment. When you choose to sit in silence and reflect instead of constantly distracting yourself, you are not being unproductive. You are building relationship with your own mind. You're building a relationship with yourself. This is where the CEO mindset comes in. A CEO does not treat their time casually. They understand that every small decision compounds into something very larger. And in the same way, when you begin to treat yourself daily experience with care and intention, your entire life starts to feel so different, not because it has changed on the outside, but because you are no longer moving through it unconsciously. So, one of the most powerful skills that you can develop is the ability to reframe your reality. This does not mean ignoring difficulties or pretending that everything is positive or perfect. It means choosing how you interrupt what happens to you. For an example, spending time alone can either feel like loneliness or like space. The situation is the same, but the meaning you assign to it completely changes your emotional experience. A challenging day can either feel like a failure or like growth in progress. Again, the external reality has not changed, but your perspective has changed. This is not denial, this is awareness. This is awareness, guys. So it is understanding that while you cannot control everything that happens around you in your life, you have the influence over how you process it, and you have the control to view it correctly. So people have mastered this do not necessarily have easier lives. What they have is a strong ability to navigate their experiences without losing themselves. They do not collapse under pressure because they know how to find meaning even in uncomfortable moments. So when you begin to practice this consistently, you start to feel sense of control that is not dependent on external circumstances, and that sense of control is deeply stabilizing. A lot of people delay their happiness without even realizing it. Like they create silent conditions for when they are allowed to enjoy their life. They tell themselves that they will relax when they achieve something, they will be happy when they get this, get that, that they will feel confident when they change something about their appearance, that they will feel fulfilled when they reach a certain milestone in their lives. So the problem with this way of thinking is that keeps moving. As soon as you reach one condition, another one appears. There is always something else to fix, improve, or achieve before you can finally allow yourself to feel satisfied. So this creates a constant sense of chasing, where you are always moving forward but never arriving. So romanticizing your life breaks this cycle because it removes the conditions. It allows you to experience moments of appreciation and presence even while you are still growing, still working, still figuring out things. So it does not make you complex, it makes you grounded, and from that grounded place your actions become more focused, more intentional, and often more effective. And there's a certain kind of energy that people notice immediately, even if they cannot explain it. It is not loud attention seeking, it is calm, steady, and self-assured. So this energy comes from having a strong internal presence, where you are comfortable being alone with your thoughts, where you trust your own decisions, when you do not constantly seek validation from others, when you move differently, when you speak differently, when you speak calmly, when you carry yourself with a level of quiet confidence that does not need to be announced. So romanticizing your life helps build this presence because it shifts your focus inward. Instead of constantly looking outside for stimulation or approval, you start to find value in yourself, in your own experiences. So over time, this creates a sense of stability that is not easily shaken by external circumstances. You become less reactive and more intentional. So you begin to respond to life rather than simply reacting to it. So no life is free from difficulty, and trying to avoid that reality often leads to more frustration as well. So what makes the difference is how you relate to those difficult moments in your life. So instead of seeing them as interruptions to your life, you can begin to see them as a part of life. And challenges, setbacks, and emotional struggles are not a sign of something is wrong. They are actually like natural parts of growth and change. But you start to when you start to weave your life as a story that's still unfolding, these moments can take on different meaning. They become chapters rather than endings. They contribute to your depth rather than diminishing your experience. So this does not mean the difficult moments suddenly become so easy, but it does mean that they feel less pointless. There is sense that they are shaping you in some way, even if you do not fully understand how it does at this time. So your ability to romanticize your life is directly connected to your energy. If you are constantly drained, distracted, or overwhelmed, it becomes much harder to be present and intentional. So this is why boundaries are very important. I have done many videos about boundaries. You can watch them. So not in a harsh or defensive way, but in a clear and a respectful way. So you need to be aware about what supports your energy and what takes away from it. So this can include the people you spend time with, the content you consume, even the way you structure your day. So when you start to protect your energy, you create space for more clarity, more focus, more meaningful experiences. So you are no longer constantly reacting to everything around you. You're choosing what you engage with and how you engage with it. And at the end of the day, romanticizing your life is not about changing your entire life and into reality overnight. It is about changing the way you relate to it. It is about slowing down just enough to notice what is already there, and it is about bringing intention into moments that would otherwise pass unnoticed. It's about choosing to see value in your own experience, choosing to see your own value instead of constantly searching for it somewhere else. And when you begin to live this way, something subtle but powerful happens. So your life starts to feel fuller, not because it has become perfect, but because you are finally present in your own life. And in that presence, you will realize that you were never waiting for a better life. You were waiting to fully step into one you are already have. So this is all about romanticizing our lives that we already have and not creating a very different perfect life. It's all about bettering ourselves and getting a better life, creating a better life for ourselves. So I hope you guys learned something from this video. So hope you guys enjoy this video as well. So thank you for watching, guys. Bye.